What's up, everybody? So we're just gonna get started. I'm doing a get ready with me today, and right now I'm using the essential oil stick from MAC, and then I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Magic Gloomy Primer and press this all throughout my skin. I like this for a real hydrated effect, and this does give me really good moisture throughout the day. Then I'm going to use the Dior Skin Forever Foundation, and my shade is Sand 30. And I'm just applying this with my finger first, just to get placement where I want it. And then I'm also going to use the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Medium, just to highlight and give me extra coverage under the eyes. I also wanted to play around today and try the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. But as you can see, this was a mistake simply because this product needs to be blended out quite quickly, and I didn't get to it in time, but you'll see what I'm talking about. This brush, however, by Tarte is really bomb. It blends everything out super quickly and effectively, whereas right here I'm using the Tarte Beauty Blender, and like I said, this is where the blending issues start to happen. The sponge, I'm not sure if it was a sponge because I felt like I liked this sponge, so I wasn't sure really if it was my primer combination or just the concealer itself, but I just wasn't too happy with it. So there I am going back in with some more Shape Tape. Shape Tape is full coverage, so I thought this would kind of save me, but that didn't quite happen, and you'll see right here my reaction. It's a little funny. I was upset though because I'm definitely on my way to work here, so I didn't have time to really experiment and play games. So I just decided to switch back to the brush, and that worked out quite nicely. And then I'm just adding a little bit more foundation, keep it safe, keep it simple instead of using more and more concealer. And again, this brush just really made everything come together. So jumping into the eyes or the eyebrows, I'm using the Glamouflage Concealer by Hard Candy, also in light medium. And I like this to highlight specifically under the brow. The formula is a little too dry to wear as a concealer, so I wear it as a base. And the coverage helps neutralize my lid. And I decided to highlight under my brow before doing my brow because this creates a softer brow. And I am going for a halo eye, so I just really wanted to do my eyeshadow first. So to set that, I'm using the shade Jasper from the Kylie Cosmetics Bronze Palette. It's actually an essential palette to me. I may not use it every day, but I do use like one shade at least a day. And now I'm moving into the Jeffree Star Androgyny palette. At the moment I wasn't too sure, so we decided to use the NYX Oxblood, I believe. I'm sorry, Olive Black eyeliner. And then I'm going to smoke that out using the Military shade from the Androgyny palette. Right here I'm creating a wing, and I almost immediately regretted doing it, but later on you'll see it actually helped me out quite a bit. So I knew that I was going for olive tones and green tones, so to use unnatural colors like that, I thought it'd be best to use a cool tone transition shade. So this color is called Safe Word, also by the Androgyny palette. And with the type of look that I'm doing, you don't need to be too precise. You can be a little messy if you wanted to. So that's why I left the shades as is. And this right here is Jada from the Jaclyn Hill palette. And I put that right in my crease to kind of soften that brown, but also blend it into that olive wing. So it's kind of like a nice medium between the two colors. After that, I'm switching to a smaller brush. This one's by Morphe. I'm going back into Military just to now, I guess, marry the two colors together because we want these tones in the eye, but we don't want to look too harsh on the edges. So as you can see, this has now turned a little more olivey versus that aqua turquoise blue that I just had on. And now to deepen the corners, I'm using the shade Emerald from the Jaclyn Hill palette, which is like a super dark green. I'm sorry, this shade is called Enchanted, excuse me. But I'm popping these two colors on the outer corners, and then I'm blending them in their spot before I decide to connect them. The whole idea of a halo eye is to leave the center open and available, and if it does get covered, that's okay. You can always come in and clean it up, but you want your outer points to be the darkest points of the eye. So now I'm just going back in with Jada just to blend the two together. So with smoky eyes, you're also going back and forth between the same colors quite often. And now I'm just softening the crease, going back with Jasper from the Kylie palette. And now I'm using my brush from Morphe with no additional product, but now I'm actually coming in closer to the nose bridge just to crisp that out a little bit. Now here I was a little unsure with both of these shades. So since I couldn't pick one, I decided to layer the two. On my MAC 242 brush, spray that with some Fix Plus. And you have the color Houdini by Makeup Geek that I'm putting on right now. And then with my finger, I'm going to put on the color Pegasus right on top of that. The reason I did that is because Houdini's more blue and Pegasus was more icy. So I felt like if I put that ice on top of that deep blue, it'll pull more of those emerald tones from Enchanted, which is that color from the Jaclyn Hill palette. So now I'm taking that Enchanted color and just blending it in to make it pop and intensify a little bit. Now I'm going to do my brows and lashes, and boom, here they are. So now to set my face, as you can see, I have some baking powder, or translucent powder I should say. That's RCMA No Powder. And then I'm using the Bobbi Brown Weightless Powder, the Warm Natural, to set my entire face. So at this point, I'm using the Gimme Sun Bronzer to prep this contour. And I'm just going to use this on the perimeter of my face, like so. It's a very warm color. Then I'm super excited for this, the Fit Me translucent powders that just came out by Maybelline. They are bomb for drugstore. And I have those shade 20, and I use that to clean up my contour. On top of that, I'm using the NYX Taupe. It's technically a blush, so I was giving it a shot. You know, I'm trying new things here. And I wasn't really feeling it, and as you can see, it didn't really look good on my skin. I mean, I blended it out later, but I just felt like it was a little too gray for me, so I kind of gotta work that out. But I'm blending away, and now I'm using the ColourPop I Like Your Face highlight kit, and I decided to use the shade Upgrade, and then I mixed in one of the lighter shades as well, Extra, Upgrade and Extra. And on top of that, I went in with Ofra's Blissful just to give it like that pop, because I felt like the highlights were looking a little icy. And to kind of marry and blend this face a little bit more, I'm using Warm Soul by MAC. I think that's the perfect blush for any look. And then on top of this bronzer situation contour, I'm using the e.l.f. Maui Baked Bronzer, and this was just to soften like all that ashiness that I was getting, and I think it did, sort of. And now I'm just blending away that Fit Me powder, and in doing so, I decided to add more and blend that contour into my skin a little bit, just so it looked a little bit softer and not so harsh. A little bit of Fix Plus never hurt nobody, you know what I mean? And now for the star of the show, Illuminati, which is one of the Artist Couture loose highlights, and this really makes a pop. I mean, not everybody likes to stack, but I love stacking highlighters. I love stacking lips, bronzers, so the more the merrier for me. And now I'm just blending more and more. Now I'm using my current favorite lip liner, which is 951 by ColourPop with the I Love Sadae collab. One of my favorite lip liners, everyday status. On top of that, I'm using the Tarte Skinny Dip lipstick. I love this nude. It's one of those very light, I can't wear alone nudes, but I can totally wear it with a lip liner. So. And on top of that, the Curvy lip gloss, also by ColourPop. I Love Sadae. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.